Gotta get a camera right. All right.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. Live and direct is. Wait, no, it's not.
Try
It's
again.
Saturday Night Live.
Do it again. Do it again. Do it. Try again. It's guy talk. Try again.
Live and direct is guy talk, motherfucker.
Hey.
All right, good enough. I think it's just going to be the three of us. Meatball's got to get up at 3 a.m. to go fishing, and and Santy is a no show. I don't know where he is. So just the three of
Meatball,
us.
I hope if you're listening, you catch all the fish you catch are dead and contaminated, and you can't cook none of them. You motherfucker for not showing up.
That's
What
right.
kind of shit is that? You're supposed to be here, god damn it. And you want to fuck around and go fishing? All those fish are going to be fucking contaminated, and you can't eat none of them.
That's right. The only thing he's going to catch is a cold.
Word. That's
Right.
it.
All right, Timmy, you got
I
your
hope you
shot?
freeze your ass off out there on my talk or whatever the fuck you go fishing. And wait, I gotta go get my fucking.
Hey, yo, Steve said, yo, stop everything.
Wait, I
He
gotta
said,
get my
stop
shit.
all that shit I was talking about.
I'll be
Okay.
right back.
All right, get your shot.
I got a little tequila action going on.
All right, good. I got
You know.
I got wild turkey.
Okay, I fuck with wild turkey. I like wild turkey.
It's wild turkey honey.
Yeah. I like wild turkey honey.
Oh man.
So
No, I took the bike out.
yeah,
You know, and at night, you know, the temperature goes down a little bit. So I took it to the gym, and it's the first time I had it out at night.
yeah.
It's colder than a motherfucker. So
My shit
Yeah,
all
it feel like it's
crooked.
cold outside. It do.
yeah.
Shit is all crooked right now. I'm looking at y'all
Yo,
No.
on an angle. What the fuck is going on?
No, that's you.
it's because we started early.
Yeah.
No. I mean, you know, normally I put the fucking screen right in front of me.
Yeah,
and you know, I'm straight up. But I
Yo,
gotta have
Steve.
that shit on an angle to be like right where I'm at.
What
Yeah.
time did you start, Steve? What
I
time did you
started
start?
about 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
I've been getting
I
fucked
didn't
up.
start early. I started at 6, damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's only 3.
Cheers,
All
motherfucker.
right, here we go. Another good
Yo.
session of talk.
Cheers.
All right.
Bam, boom.
God damn.
Let me see if I can get this shit right. Wait.
Got it. See what you can do.
Okay, that's better.
Woo.
All right, that's
The
better.
only time you're gonna see a green screen behind somebody with no background.
Yeah, that's right. What the hell are you doing, son?
I don't know, son.
Yeah,
I don't know.
son.
So we got Kung
Yeah,
Fu.
son.
We got Kung Fu Timmy in the house.
Yo, what's up with the fucking green background? What's up with that?
Yo, when I used to stream games, so you put that in the background, so you see the whole picture of the game, and you don't see my crusty wall in the background while I'm trying to play the game.
Oh
But
shit!
I don't know how to do that here. Matter of fact, I just found out. I just saw how to put that to full screen. That's how long I've been off the computer.
Yeah,
Well,
but
you know, big
you
ups
gotta-
to you for admitting that. The back of the screen. I mean, the back of the wall is crusty and shit. I would have never admitted that shit on national.
Well,
National
Like
TV.
no, yeah, like what?
National
Oh, the
YouTube.
back of your shit is crusty.
Hey,
Oh shit!
It is what it is.
His shit
I would
ain't
take
cra-
it down, but it's too much trouble.
His shit ain't crusty anymore. He's married. His wife takes care of the house now.
That's right.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
actually, you know
They-
what?
they
I
make
can't,
it-
I can't lie.
Listen, bro, if I didn't have my wife, my house would be one lazy boy chair, a big screen TV, and a PlayStation, and
Yo, let's
that's
face
it.
it, Tippy. Your wife is running shit.
That's it.
That's why I said I can't lie. That's what I said. I said
I'm saying,
I can't lie. I can't
And ain't
lie.
no shame in that. Ain't no shame in that. Because you know what? When I was married, I held shit down. I was the man. I'm the man of the fucking house, right?
Real man.
But, the woman, well, in my case anyway, I gotta say, she ran my motherfucking house.
Oh yeah, meets my wife
She
too.
ran the motherfucker house.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, yo, I came home and like,
same thing with her parents too.
Yeah,
that's for you. You know, it's the bills.
Yep.
This is little, you know, little fuck around money, whatever.
Yep.
But you know, hit it off with the dough. But everything was done. Everything.
That was
She
exactly
did
the
that
day
shit.
today.
Yeah,
that was exactly the day today, man. That's exactly how it played out.
Yeah, you guys have the towels in the bathroom that have your initials and you can't use them.
Nah, we ain't there yet. Nah, we ain't there yet.
Don't use those towels. Use those towels. Holy shit.
We don't got the pillows that you can't lay on yet.
we decorating the bathroom with shit we can't use.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Nah, we don't got that yet.
Oh, yeah. His and hers and, you know, all kinds of patterns and shit. And no, baby, don't touch those towels. You want to wipe yourself off? Use that towel. Well, why the fuck are these towels hanging here?
It's for the aesthetics, Steve, and for decoration.
Fucking decoration. If I gotta wipe off myself real quick after getting out the shower, and and
grab whatever next to you.
That's right.
You got your towel, because that's how the shit is. You got your towel. She got her towel. You know what I'm saying? So when you got a shower, you grab your shit to dry off. Don't be looking for the shit that's hanging on the rack. Like, oh, I don't need this big ass towel. Let me just wipe my balls with the shit hanging over there. You know, oh no,
get the little washcloth.
That shit says her. I better not wipe my balls with that shit and put it back, because now it's gonna be soil.
We ain't
well, not soil, because I'm clean. But I'm just saying, I used it, and she's gonna be like, it's gonna be wet, and she's gonna be like, who used this towel?
I don't know, honey.
Well,
Somebody must have broke in here.
No, I ain't no front. I did, baby. I had to dry my balls off, so I used that towel. And she said,
who else gonna use it though?
Right, no. But you know, her thing is, it ain't for fucking use, it's for show. And you're like, what the fuck is all this for show? Show what? If somebody needs to wipe their ass or, you know, like clean themselves or whatever the case may be.
Who looking? When the guests come use the bathroom, they're like, ooh, I like those decorative towels they got on the rack over there.
That's right.
You know, come on.
Let's get to the topic.
Let's do it.
So here's the topic. We all know Mike Tyson had to whip somebody's ass yesterday on an airplane, right?
I actually did not know that, John.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I found that out this morning.
Oh, okay. So you know now.
Now I know, yeah.
So there were two young guys, like in their 20s. They're on the airplane. They're loaded. They're wasted. And at the beginning, you know, Mike Tyson was being cool. He was talking to them, being nice, shaking their hand. He took a selfie with them, so on and so forth. But they were drunk and belligerent and obnoxious, and they kept going and they kept going and they kept going. And they kept being annoying. It kept being annoying. It kept being annoying. Mike Tyson told them to please stop. You should sit down and shut up. And they wouldn't. And then Mike Tyson does what Mike Tyson does.
Yeah, Finals. He unleashed a can of whip ass on that motherfucker.
So the topic is going to be, are millennials and Gen Z, are they too comfortable acting a fool with no consequences?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 100%.
These fucking kids today are acting like
Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
No. I mean, you know, like you can't even use Mike Tyson as an example, because I'm along with Mike Tyson. If I'm Mike Tyson, right, and them dudes approached me with that stupid shit, like, because you know they don't really know what they're doing because they're a little drunk, whatever. But you're annoying me, goddammit. So get away from me. I don't give a fuck that you're drunk. Just back the fuck up. Get away from me. But if you're gonna come at me with that shit, I'm gonna go Mike Tyson on your ass. I'm knocking you out in 37 seconds.
Yeah, but you see, even me, even the drunk me knows not to mess with Mike Tyson.
That's what I mean. Like,
you know what I mean?
That's why I don't understand where these kids' heads was at. Like, what the fuck were they thinking? This is Mike Tyson. He was Mike Tyson back then. He ain't Mike Tyson anymore.
Well, I think two things. Okay, I think they're too young to remember the fact that Mike Tyson was a nut outside the ring. You know, the Mitch Green incident. Remember Mitch Green in Harlem? He whipped his ass.
Mitch Green got knocked the fuck out.
Yeah. Then remember when he there was two guys in Brooklyn at the hotel, the Marriott in Brooklyn, who tried messing with him. This was, I don't know, a while ago, 20 years ago, when he kicked the shit out of both of them right in front of the hotel. You know, this wasn't the first time. You know, this happened a lot. Matter of fact, even Fat Joe tells a story. Fat Joe tells a story that him and Big Pun got into it at the tunnel with some bouncers, right? And if you guys remember the tunnel,
of course,
the bouncers at the tunnel were monsters, bro.
Yeah,
like,
they were huge.
Monsters. So it was Fat Joe and Big Pun, right? Neither one of them are very athletic, right? So they're arguing with the bouncers, right? They're arguing with the bouncers, and like there's like 8, 9 of these guys, and it's Fat Joe and Big Pun, and all of a sudden he hears, "Yo, Pun, yo, Joe, let's fuck these motherfuckers up," and it's Mike Tyson, fresh out of jail with the kufi on, right? And then all of a sudden he's chasing one of the bouncers around the car in the street, and the bouncer's going, "Mike, no, please, Mike, no,
yes,
no,
Mike Tyson,
no, Mike, no, please, don't." Right? So these young cats, they don't know. I don't think they remember. They don't know what he was like back then. Just
that
because
motherfucker was a beast, man. He was a fucking,
but didn't Tyson just have some shit happen to him too at some bar or some shit where this guy put down a gun on somebody?
No, it was. I think it was on. I think it was on the plane.
No, it was something else. It was something else that happened too. Like
I
Tyson was chilling. Tyson was chilling at some club or something like that. And some dude was trying to.
He was on a plane. I think it was a plane, and people, like these dudes were fucking with him, and he just hooked off on him, like, yo, get the fuck
out. He didn't hook off on him.
Timmy's talking
about
something else. This
is something that happened kind of recent. And
I don't remember that.
Dude, I think was trying to talk to Tyson, or he was joking around with him, kind of. But Tyson's security or whoever he wasn't having it. Okay, and the dude like flashed the gun, kind of like on some, I'm just playing around. He was trying to be a tough guy. I don't know him. I don't know his life story. But Tyson called the guy back over, and the guy was like, "Oh, it's no disrespect to you, da 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 da." But not a lot of people are gonna call back over a dude that just flash a gun in your face and like, nah, shake my hand is cool.
Yeah, right,
but that just happened like, I feel like a month ago, maybe.
Yeah, there was a bunch of incidents. Yeah. So that's one. I don't think these young guys know what he was about, and I don't care. A 55-year-old Mike Tyson, even though he's a lot more calm than he was at 30, he's still Mike Tyson. And the other thing is, I think these young kids are too comfortable talking shit behind their phones, their laptops.
Twitter fingers.
Yeah, I think they're keyboard tough guys. I think they troll people, and there's no consequences.
That's a good way to put it.
There's
keyboard tough guy.
Yeah, that's what they call it. Twitter fingers.
Yeah, there's no consequences, and like the older generation, like we know that there's a line that we can't cross.
Yep.
That's
why, I was just talking about this the other day at work. Actually, like you can tell people carry themselves a certain way just because they know there's consequences for your actions.
Yeah.
When you back in the day, right? When you had a beef with somebody, right? And let's say, for argument's sake, you didn't really want no beef with this motherfucker because you might have been a little shook and said, I don't really want to fight this motherfucker because he might fuck me up, right?
Yeah,
like that's your mindset, right?
Absolutely.
But back then, you either put up or shut the fuck up.
That's right.
So you might have been that dude that said, well, I don't really want to fight this motherfucker, but I'm not going to lay down like no bitch. I'm going to fight this big nigga or whatever, right? And then you fight him, and whatever happens, happens. But y'all work it out, fight, and that's it. You know what I mean? And that's the end of that. You either get the best of this nigga or he gets the best of you.
Yep.
But after that, it's over.
Yep.
Like your motherfuckers are slapping high fives the next fucking day. Like
I had a couple instances like that.
Yeah, I think when I was young, that happened where you fight, And even if you lose, like you become friends because there's an instant respect that you're going to defend yourself, win, lose, or draw. You know what I mean? So it's
Exactly.
Do you ever see when two girls fight? There's no respect. They hate each other
Oh,
forever.
they hate each other. They're pulling out weaves and scratching and all kinds of
and then they go home and they start rumors on Facebook and YouTube about how you're a whore and you slept with this one, you slept with that one, and all this shit.
Man,
that's the difference between then and now. We ain't had no motherfucking Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, all that shit back then. It was like, yo, just put up or shut the fuck up.
That's
and
right.
then, it got spread throughout the neighborhood from the neighborhood. Like, there was no internet. You know what I mean? So you couldn't, there was no other way the shit got around unless it was only by word of mouth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's what it was. And like, but the shit was almost just as effective as the internet because word of mouth, let's just say you fighting your worst enemy down the block. And everybody's like, oh shit, Timmy in the fight. Blah, 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 blah. Y'all fucking each other up. Everybody in the whole neighborhood gonna know about that shit within the next 10 minutes because it's gonna spread like wildfire from the people who've seen that shit, right? But that's like old school internet. Without internet.
Everybody
Steve,
in the neighborhood knows.
Steve, I remember I was like 17. We used to play computer games at like this, like a LAN. You go, everybody pay some money, you play on a computer. And these dudes was beefing back and forth on AOL Messenger. And, I was still living. Yeah,
AOL Messenger.
I aged myself a little bit.
That's all right.
And so now I'm watching them. And I still lived in Left Rack. So he's going back and forth with this dude. He lived like in the projects across from us. And he's like, da, something talk about his girl or something. And then the dude that is in front of me types to him, I'm going to come to your house. I'm going to punch you in your face. And then he tapped me on the shoulder. He's like, yo, come with me. And he went and did it. Like he knocked on this dude's door. The dude opened up. Bop! But he ain't talk shit no more to that guy.
Yeah. See, as men, all men know that. Well, most men know that there's a line you can't cross, right? So there's going to be a line that if you cross this line, it's going to get physical.
Yep.
And we all know that. And
I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
Yeah, do what you gotta do. And at 46 years old, there have been times where I just walk away before I even get close to that line.
Yeah.
Because I understand, I just, there have been, several times, not a lot, but several times where I just go, you know what? I'm just going to bite my tongue and walk away because nothing good's going to come out of this. And I'm too old and I have too much to lose, know?
Yeah.
When you're a young dude, it's a little bit, you'll push the line, you'll test the line. A lot of guys want to fight and see how tough they are and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
But there was a time where a couple of years back, I had to go to the store and I pulled up and I opened my door and the door hit the guy's door next to me. Now the guy's car was a piece of crap, but it doesn't matter. I still apologize. I went, oh man, I'm sorry. He gets out of the car like a tough guy, and he's like, do you mind if I see if there's any damage? And I'm like, and my stomach turns, right? Because I already apologized to you.
It's the writing on the wall, though.
Yeah, I already acknowledged that I was wrong. I apologized, right? So now my stomach is in knots. So now he's like, can I see if there's any? And he said it with attitude. Can I see if there's any damage? So I stepped out of the way. I let him look, and he goes, just watch where you're going next time, or watch what you're doing next time. And I'm like, oh, and I just walked away.
But whose fault was?
No, it was mine. It was my fault.
Yours.
Yeah.
But how old was this guy?
30s maybe.
Oh.
No, but
and I
he
just
ain't quelled that phase yet.
It was John's fault, but John was being the better man.
Right.
And then the dude had the gall to say some stupid shit like, watch where you go next time. I said, see, that's where the fucking straw would have snapped.
Right.
It's like, what? Watch where I'm going, but next time, motherfucker, that's when you go on.
And that's the line. That's the line,
Right, that's the fucking line.
That's the line.
You was humble enough to admit you're wrong
Right.
And everything was all good. And the guy said, "Oh,
as soon as I
had to make that fucking comment."
That's right.
About watch where you're going next time.
Yeah.
You crossed the fucking line when you said that. When you made that statement,
that's it.
You fucking crossed the line.
Yeah, that statement is the line. Every guy knows it. Every guy knows. See, you think like I thought, okay, I acknowledged it. I apologize. There was no damage. Sorry, man, I didn't mean to do that. So now another guy, all right, no problem, man, no big deal, right? Blah 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 blah, right? Okay, but he chose to accelerate it. He instead he chose to accelerate instead decelerate it, right?
Instead of just being like a normal person.
Yeah.
Like, so it wasn't like you hit his car.
Right. Exactly. So, I knew, I'm like, okay, if I don't bring it down, this is going to get bad.
Yeah.
Right. That's the difference between when a man gets into a conversation or gets into an argument with another man, and then gets to an argument with a woman. De-escalate. Sorry, Joe. You're right. De-escalate. This is my friend. This is my friend Joe. I meant de-escalate. Yeah.
What's up, Joe?
See, when you get into an argument with a woman, she don't realize that line because she's a woman, and she doesn't think that she's going to get punched in the face.
Who's that, Joe? Who's that?
This is my friend Joe. His real name is Giuseppe, but it's my friend Joe. We grew up together.
Giuseppe, you sound like the janitor that used to be the motherfucker that used to mop the halls at my elementary school when I was a kid. That was his name, fucking Giuseppe.
Yo,
no.
Yeah. So that's what happens when you get into an argument with a woman, with a girl, they don't understand that line. They don't know that line, and they'll push it and they'll push it and they'll push it and they'll push it, and it's like,
it's some guys too that do that shit.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate, but it's definitely like, especially out here, they'll keep pressing the issue, especially if they think you not gonna do anything.
Right.
And that's another thing too. Like, you trying to de-escalate a situation not because you don't feel capable in your abilities,
right?
But because you're grown. So it's like,
right.
Well, why am I going to get in a fist fight over a door?
Right.
And full disclosure, I'm still trying to get through that Sahara's desert myself.
Now, how old are you now, Timmy?
I'll be 38 this year.
Okay, yeah, you should be.
Oh shit, yeah, you understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
But like,
I shouldn't even know about the chat rooms.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like there've been time. No, there was another time, but my wife actually realized it. That's what makes my wife a good wife. We were in Las Vegas. We went to Las Vegas for my wife's 40th birthday. This was 3 years ago. So it was late, and we wanted to go out. We went to dinner. Wanted to go out afterwards, and apparently we got word that if you go to the New York hotel, there's a lot of places to go and whatnot. Okay, so we go. It's like midnight, 1 a.m. And the bar was packed. We walk in, and there's a guy facing the bar. I'm trying to get behind him, and I tapped him on his back, and I'm like, excuse me, just trying to get by. And he turns around, and the dude puts his hand behind my head and tries to kiss me.
Oh, what?
Yeah, and I shoved him. I was like, yo, because I was not expecting that, right? I shoved him. I was like, yo. And then this guy was so drunk that he almost fell just from me shoving him. You know what I mean? He fell on the way. It was like that. Immediately, my wife pushes me and goes, no fighting. Let's go. Keep walking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But even still, I was like, I knew, okay, this could get bad right here immediately. Yeah. And, I would have tried to de-escalate it if I could, but my wife did it before me.
Yeah.
Which is what a good wife is supposed to do. She's not supposed to sit. She's not supposed to
set it off.
She's not supposed to sit there and laugh while you slap Chris Rock in the face.
That's not what you do. That's not what you're supposed to do.
When you have a good wife, right? When you have a good wife, you'll be surprised at the shit she'll do to defend you in times of crisis, like with John. What he said was not even really, in my opinion, a time of crisis, but it really was. But
she saw the potential for it to get
right. But I'm going to give you an example that was really a time of crisis.
Oh, I remember this story. Go ahead. This is a good story.
No, me and my wife was walking on the avenue at fucking, I don't know, 2:00 in the morning. You know, we were hanging out and we said, let's go get some snacks and beer and shit, right? So we go to the bodega up the block, about 3 or 4 blocks from my house, right? So we go, and, you know, she gets, because there's a line, you know, you got to go to the window and shit at that time in the morning to get whatever you want. And so she gets on the line, and this dude just was fucking walking. He was drunk, and he was walking by, and he kept bumping into her. So he bumped into her once. And I go, okay, you know, he don't know what he's doing. Right? Then he bumped into her again. So now I got to approach this nigga. I'm like, what the fuck you doing, man? You know, now I'm beefing with this dude, right? And he was like, you're bomber Clyde, this, that, but you know, all this bullshit about he was Jamaican, right? Oh, you're bomber Clyde, and blow Clyde head on. I said, man, fuck you and this and that, right? And then all of a sudden, I was surrounded by about fucking a dozen dudes. Like, they came out of nowhere, right? And I'm like, oh, shit, you know? And so now I'm like, oh, what the fuck now, right? So he said, he's got the fucking gun in my face, right?
Oh,
damn.
Right? He got a gun in my face, right? So wifey just said, like, yo, this was some gangster shit. I said, oh my God, she's the one, you know?
Yeah,
she goes, get that. She just walked up to that motherfucker and said, get that fucking gun out my man's face. What the fuck is wrong with you? And she pushed that shit out of the way.
Damn.
And I said, oh, okay. You know, like I didn't know where that shit came from, but she said, you better get that gun out my man. And she just pushed that shit out the way. And you know what he said after that shit? He said, "The bomber Clyde, you better put your girl on the leash and blah, 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 all this bullshit, right?" But all I said was, well, if it wasn't for wifey, I would have been in some shit.
Different, yeah.
I would have been in some shit because I would have been like, you know, I don't know what I would have done because he put a gun in my face. Yeah. And I ain't gonna front. I was shook. And then I got all these niggas around me and all this shit. And she just went like, what? And I said, oh, shit, right? So after that, you know what we did? We got the fucking beer and snacks that we came for, and we got the fuck out of there, right? And we went back home. But
first, you wiped your pants because you took a shit in your pants.
I ain't gonna front. I was fucking shook. And I said, but you know, it was the, you know, like the, I don't know what you call it, like the fucking, just the intense shit that she had in her to do that.
Yeah.
She was holding that shit in her back pocket for a day like that.
Yeah. And, you know, and we wasn't, it's not like I had no fucking gun in my pocket that I could have pulled out and be like, what, nigga? You know, I had you know, like we was just out on the avenue. And I said, what the fuck made you do that? And know what she said? That nigga was trying to hurt you, so I came to your defense.
Yeah.
And I said,
yep.
Say no more.
That's it. I got a good story. Listen to this. I was at the bar and I was really messed up, man. I was fucked up, right? Timmy, you'll like this story. I was fucked up. Yeah, all right. And I go outside and I threw up and shit's all over me, right? Oh. And yeah, fucking all over me. And the bartender comes outside to check on me, right? And I was all fucked up. And I was like, oh man, I don't know what I'm gonna do. My wife is gonna fucking kill me when she finds out I threw up all over me. And he goes, this is what you do, man. I'll tell you what to do. He goes, get $10, put it in your front pocket. Get $10, put it in your front pocket. And when you go home, tell your wife that you didn't throw up on yourself. Tell your wife there was another guy who got so fucked up, he threw up on you and gave you $10 to get your shirt cleaned.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. It's something.
So I go home. I go home and I'm all fucked up. And the wife opens the door and she goes, "What? what the fuck happened to you? And I went, honey, wait. I went, honey, let me explain. This isn't my throw up. Another guy was so fucked up. He threw up on me, and he gave me $10 to get my shirt cleaned. And I gave her the money. She takes the money. She takes the money from my hand. And she goes, "Wait a minute. There's 20 here." I went, "Yeah, you're shitting my pants too." You guys are fucked up.
Yo, shit in my pants too. Here's an extra 10.
Yeah.
God damn, yo.
I know. I'm telling you. So, Timmy, how is married life coming, man?
Honestly, married life is exactly the same.
Really?
Yeah. Because I've been with my wife for before we got married. How long? I think this is year 13.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's not like it's not like we met like a year ago. We got married, and you
trying to have kids.
Yes. Yeah.
Really?
Actively. Yeah. Yep.
Oh,
it's a little touch and go.
Yeah.
But
Rodney Dangerfield said the best part about kids is making them.
I 100% believe that. When I was growing up, my mom had like a daycare center, so all I was around was like kids, like little babies.
If you don't know your wife by now, after 13 fucking years,
yeah, right.
I don't give a fuck. How long you been married? What, like a year?
Not even a year yet.
Right. But you've been with her for 13 years, right?
Yeah. Yep.
If you don't know her by now, then I don't know what the fuck to tell you, because one thing is really true, right? And this is my opinion anyway. You never know a woman until you fucking live with her.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what I mean? Like, I dated my wife. I dated my wife for we lived together for 5 years. Before, actually no. Well, it was 5 years we were together and everything, but after the 4th year, I got engaged to her, but we still lived together, right?
Yeah.
And we didn't get married until like years after that. So, I was with her, I was engaged to her, but not married, but, lived with her for a certain amount of time, like almost fucking another 5 years or so before we got married, right? And I said, well, at that point, if you don't know that person, then why the fuck are you walking down the aisle with her? Because you don't know that chick. And if it took you this long and you still ain't figure it out, then you need to not walk down the motherfucking aisle.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? And
but when I got with her, I think I moved in with her a year after I met her.
Okay.
So I've been with her for 13. We've been living together for 12.
Mm-hmm.
So she definitely know all the bullshit that come along with me.
Yeah.
Like even current day, and she just stays and she'll protect me. She'll slap me if I'm fucking up, but she try to make sure, she keep me in the best place for me, even when I myself am resistant to it.
Timmy's a subject of domestic violence.
Terrible. It's terrible.
It's
terrible.
Yeah, you sound like Charles Barkley there. Terrible.
It's terrible, Chuck. It's terrible.
Don't get it twisted. Hey, Timmy, don't get it twisted. Women fuck up too.
Oh,
I see how you laid the whole foundation as far as what you were saying with respect to you being the dude that she keep me in line and all that bullshit, and this and that about you. But women fuck up too.
Yeah, I hate when they accidentally suck somebody else's dick. I mean, that's just. And you find the pictures on their phone with like two guys with their dicks on their shoulder, one here, one here.
Yo, John.
Shit.
If you found some shit like that, on your wife's like Instagram or whatever, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And you saw that.
yeah.
Would you still want to be with her?
Oh, I'd have a big party. We would.
No, I'm serious, John.
I would invite those two guys over. We'd run a train on her, and then I would kiss her and tell her how much I love her right after that.
No, I'm serious. Like, because some dudes are like, oh, well,
No,
she
okay.
did that, but I did shit too.
There is a big difference from when a man cheats and when a woman cheats. A big difference.
Well, if your wife cheated on you, listen, I know about you.
It's a wrap.
If my wife cheats on me, okay, I'm kicking her to the fucking curb.
There's a big difference. A guy could mess around with another girl, not even know his name, and it doesn't mean anything. Most of the time when a woman fucks around with another man, she's checked out already. She's done. She's already done with the relationship because she's looking for another emotional attachment, and she's not gonna. Most women aren't gonna just go out and mess around with a random guy. She's gotten to know this guy already.
At least I guess you hope your wife ain't one of them women that.
But that don't make it right.
No. I'm not saying no. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that's how women operate, and that's why it's even worse. See, men could have sex and like it's nothing, like it doesn't mean anything. Like literally, I don't have to know the chick's name, nothing. And then I could leave, and it's like nothing just happened, zero. It's literally like I'm jerking off, only I have somebody to talk to, right?
Okay.
With a woman, 9 times out of 10, unless she is, I don't know.
She got some kind of involvement.
There's already some kind of involvement. There's some kind of emotional attachment. She's already, she knows the guy, maybe from work, maybe from the gym, maybe from a friend of a friend, and she's interacted with him before they've even messed around. And a lot of the times when a girl messes around, she's already done with the relationship. She just her marriage. She just hasn't ended it yet, or she doesn't have the balls to end it. She's just.
I get that.
She's messing around because there's women. The great comic Patrice O'Neal used to say, "Women start from the head down, and men start from the pussy up." So men. They just want to fuck you, and they'll get to know you later if it even comes to that. Women, women got to know who you are, what you're like, if there's a connection, your fucking sign, and where you're from.
But that's where it starts. Yeah, to start fucking your head up. Because they start up here, and by the time they get down to your dick,
they know everything about it.
Give you a little something. They already know you like a fucking book.
So there's a connection already. Like that's why guy friends are so, that's a big no-no. That's why guy friends, unless the guy's gay, but that's why guy friends are a big no-no. Chris Rock even said a guy friend.
I don't trust gay guys.
Yeah. Guy friend.
You don't trust nobody.
You don't trust nobody. Fuck that. You can be gay. I don't know what the fuck you can be flaming. You a dude. You still got a dick, and you can still bend my wife over, whoever the fuck. You know what I mean? And, you know what I mean? Like, yo, that shit is not a camouflage type of scenario. Oh, he's gay. You ain't got to worry about him. Why? That nigga's a man. He got a dick. He can bend you over in a minute. And like, what the fuck are you talking about? You know what I mean? Like, because he's gay, he won't fuck me because he's gay.
That's the whole premise of him being gay, though. You don't want that shit.
You know what I mean? Come on. Oh, he's gay. Why are you worried about him?
You think she might snap him out of it?
Bitch. Yeah. He's a man. I don't give a fuck that he's gay. He's a man. And he can still fuck you. What are you talking about?
I mean, he could, theoretically.
Yeah. If another guy is like grabbing his balls or something.
Yo, he's a man.
People are like, am I really?
Yeah. But anyway, on a more serious note, that's why guy friends are so dangerous, because even Chris Rock said a guy friend to a girl is like a dick in a glass jar, and on it says, in case of emergency, break open.
Right. You know what I mean? Like, yo,
they do that at a spike. Gay don't mean nothing.
The other thing. I'm having problems with him, and he ain't acting right. Oh, let me just get the little accent, break the glass, and get that gay dick out of there. Because I know, he's gay, he'll fuck me because he's a man. You know what I mean?
We are officially
gay dick. Like,
Timmy, I am officially demonetized. That's it. It's a wrap.
Hey, man, hey, look, it happened to the best of them, John.
If I had a chance of making money, it's all out the window now.
You can't trust nobody, goddammit.
I'm telling you.
What? You can't trust nobody.
You know who you can't trust? You know who you can't trust the most in a relationship? Her friends.
That's right.
Her friends
you know how many times that my wife's girlfriends try to throw pussy at me, and
no, I'm not talking about that.
To take it, I ain't gonna front. I was like, oh,
not what I was talking
my wife
about,
had some fucking badass girlfriends, and bitches come to the door. Oh, I forgot something. I'll be right back. I gotta go get. I left my cell phone or whatever in the house, and I come back, and the bitches coming to the door in lingerie because my wife ain't with her.
This happened to you?
What? Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, they said they forgot something in the room.
No. We would be visiting one of my wife's friends, right? And then after the visit, we would leave. But then I honestly, me or her, my wife, honestly forgot something in her house, right? So when I go, I say, "Oh, man, we downstairs already at the car. I'll go get it. I'll be right back." And when I go upstairs, I ring the bell and I say, I gotta come back because I forgot this, whatever. And she said, "Okay, I'll be right back. Give me a minute." And she couldn't open the door right then and there. She said, "Oh, wait, give me a second. I'll be right back." And she knows I'm by myself. When the bitch came to the door, she came to the door in fucking lingerie, tits out, ass out, looking delicious. And I was like, oh shit.
Exactly.
I said, well, I might have to spend a little time looking for that shit up in here because I'm going to blow this bitch's back out because that's how bad she was. And I said, why is she doing this to me? This bitch knows that I look at her and see how fine she is, but I'm married. Why are you teasing me with your pussy? You know what I mean? You throwing the pussy at me like
you and I want you.
Listen, and you know what? You guess what? Wait, I know front. Listen. I know front, but guess what happened? I blew that bitch's back out. I didn't give a fuck. I said,
you're choosing the easy way.
What? I said, we gotta settle this shit right here and now.
How long was you looking for this thing?
An hour and a half.
For about
I'm saying
45 minutes.
Yo, how big was the house?
Baby, I'll be right back.
Yo,
I'm coming downstairs.
Like, yo, you want me to come help you? No.
No, I got this.
Yo,
I'm coming downstairs in a minute. And I got this bitch like this.
Steve, hold on. Timmy, what did she say to him?
She said, I likes you and I want you.
Now,
we can do this the easy way or the hard way. Steve said, fuck it. We'll just keep looking. I see you choosing the easy way.
You goddamn right. I said, yo, when she came to the door, she was looking like a motherfucking porn star with the way she was just. And I said, well, I know as much as you want to have your morals and all that gooey shit, I said, man, fuck that. I'm going to blow this bitch's back out. I didn't give a fuck. And then I went downstairs and I said, I got it.
All right.
That's not I found it. Imagine you went back down. Yo, I don't know where that shit's at. I gotta come back tomorrow.
I got it.
I don't know what happened. Yo, the couch monster ate that shit. I gotta come back tomorrow.
Oh shit!
Damn it! I thought it was right there. Oh, tomorrow another day.
That's right.
Oh shit!
Goddamn right. I ain't give a fuck.
Oh shit! All right,
exactly. Come back tomorrow. Try again.
That's not what I was saying, Steve. I wasn't talking like that. What I meant that the girls are no good is that if when a girl has an argument with his wife, when a girl has an argument with her husband, and she vents to her friends, the girls automatically go, "Fuck him! You don't need him. You don't have to take his shit."
Yeah.
Oh, they don't say try to work it out with him. They all say.
You know what? I'm very lucky. My wife don't got no friends like that. At least that I know of.
Yeah, well,
at least that I know of. She don't got no friends that if I leave something in their house, they gonna open the door in their lingerie. She don't got nobody that like if something happened, they like, nah, you could do better than that.
No, but see,
we all a bunch of misfits, all of us.
Timmy, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you exactly why this relates to you. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because your wife. No, Jada. No. This is real talk, right? Yeah. Your wife is Caucasian, right?
She is. Yeah, she a white girl.
So I'm saying that because the chick that my wife's friend, she was a beautiful West Indian chick, Jamaican chick. I'm fine as hell, right? And my wife was not African American. She was a bunch of mixed nuts. You know what I mean? She had all kinds of ethnicities in her, right? But she looked like a Spanish chick, right?
Okay, yeah, I got you. Okay? I got you. Yeah.
So, oh shit, what happened?
Nothing.
Now you right there. You right there, baby.
What the fuck? Okay. So when chicks used to see me walking down the street with her, they used to be like, "Oh, why does this dude got to be with her?" Like they think it's a white chick.
Oh yeah.
And, black girls hate that shit.
They black and they like, right? So
100%.
This chick was my wife's friend, but she had the same mindset, right? So I was like, well, if I throw this black pussy at him, he ain't gonna resist this shit because he used to be.
Guess what? She was right.
No, but she was right. She was right. Because I didn't resist this. So I was like, oh shit, right? But that's the mindset to that.
Yeah.
Because like you could be walking down the street with your wife, right?
Yep.
Down in the hood, going window shopping, just put up on the avenue, right? Yep. And you watch the looks that Steve, you get.
I caught it at the Chili's.
Huh?
At Chili's, I would catch that shit.
Yeah, but the black chicks looking at you like, why are you doing with her?
Yo, from the servers that count on me to give them tips so they could go buy shit at the end of the night. They would come to the table and see it was me and my girl when we first started going out. And they would literally, like, you could hear like they were snakes. They would hiss. Suck their teeth, all types of shit.
Yeah.
And my thing with that was always I used to laugh about the show all the time. I'm like, yo, for all they know, I could be beating you senseless in this house.
Yeah, right.
But just because I'm black and they black, they think that it's something they should have. I'm like, yo, this shit don't matter. But
yeah, black girls hate that.
I know what you're saying.
No, but see, it goes both ways too. It's just like I was telling John before. It's like, okay, you're a black man, I'm a black man, and we have, like, let's say you have a woman that's your woman that's a different ethnicity, white girl, Chinese, whatever the case may be, right? But then, if you see a white dude, right? Check this out. You see a white dude with a sister, 9 times out of 10, this chick is banging, right? Like, she's not like a bullshit, like, average, like, just bullshit chick. She is banging, right?
Yeah. Don't bother me, though.
No.
Because that's how they get there. Like, and see, it's the mindset of not only, like, the white dude, because the white dude said, oh, she's just a beautiful woman to him, no matter what ethnicity she is. But in her mind, she said, oh, I got me a white boy. And, it's a prestige thing. You know what I mean? Oh, I got me a white boy. He got a good job. He making, like, crazy 6 figures. Like, she thinks she on top of the world because she got herself a cash cow with this white boy.
Yo, Steve,
right?
that's me now. That's me now.
Keep talking. Keep talking.
Now I am. Now I am. for the first time in like
but you
13
see, but
years.
the only reason you're not the cash cow is because you've been with your wife for a minute and you have a relationship with her. Other than that, it ain't about that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you had just got with her and she knew, oh shit, this motherfucker got dope. He's a good-looking black dude and he's black, and I'm gonna get me a brother and blah blah blah.
I had the opposite. I had the opposite of dope.
You know, I'm just saying.
My shit was burnt up.
But it's just crazy, and I find it, I don't know. I find it a little crazy that's how shit is nowadays. Yeah. But that it is what it is.
It's not now. Yeah. It was always like that. Matter of fact, it was worse back in the day, man. It was worse. It was worse.
It probably was worse back in the day. Actually,
it was worse back in the day, man. If you were,
I wouldn't even be able to walk down the block.
Yeah, right, and vice versa.
Yeah.
Now, let's see. Well, John's right. It was so much worse back in the day because you were getting fucked up like chilled and all that shit. If that was the case back then, but now it's so prevalent that it's commonplace.
Nobody gives a shit anymore.
Nobody gives a fuck anymore.
You remember that movie Jungle Fever?
Oh, what? That was my favorite fucking movie.
Yeah. That was filmed right in the neighborhood I grew up in.
Yeah. 18th Street, right?
The 18th Avenue, and it was 20th Avenue.
18th Street, 18th Avenue, whatever. Yeah.
But man, that was a good movie. That was a good movie. But now, you can't even make that movie today. Nobody cares. Nobody gives a shit.
Nah.
Right now, I think, what I think now? I think race relations, is in terms of interracial dating, I think that it's more, it's so much more commonplace and prevalent now. It's almost the norm.
Yeah, it's more than dating the same race.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be like think about it. Almost everybody we know, like Julian, his wife is Spanish, right? He's black.
Yeah.
Foley, his ex-wife was she from? Trinidad or
Trinidad? I think Barbados, maybe.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. You go down the line, and the majority of
But even more so, like to your point, John. Right? I was online on sports app, whatever, just scrolling and looking at different articles and shit, and I came across like Kyrie and some girl he was sitting next to in the Nets game.
Yeah,
with a mask on, and the caption was like, "You'd be surprised to know who she was." So that got me to fucking just because I wanted to know who it was, right? So I'm scrolling, right, and you don't find out who the fuck it is until after you scroll through 50 people, right, and everybody athletes, right? They all all these football athletes, basketball athletes, whatever sport, black dudes. 90, well, I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. 80% of them got white or I want to say white wives.
Yeah, white wife or Asian.
If they're not white, they're like some other kind of ethnicity other than black. And I'm like, damn, and there was some shocking shit because I said, oh, I don't know. I'm just gonna throw the name out there. Like, say for example, Michael Ealy, right?
Nice
O.J. Simpson. Mahomes is another one. Yeah.
Nice
O.J. Simpson.
He got a white girl. All these dudes got white girlfriends.
Yeah.
So I'm saying to myself, what does that say for the black woman? Like, why are these brothers that are prestigious dudes?
Well, we know the answer.
Why we already know the women?
We know the answer to that already. I mean, that's
no, I don't know the answer.
It might not be nothing.
White. Generally speaking, white women are easier to handle at the beginning, in the front at the beginning. Black girls emasculate you immediately, where white women emasculate you over time.
I can agree with that.
Right. Like for example, like if you all right, You go
but don't forget, John, we're talking about not average.
We're talking about general.
We're talking about guys that prestigious guys making $40 million a year.
So they can So they get the so they want the beautiful So they get the beautiful white girl that acts right, at least behind closed doors. I mean, at least in public, right? So, like, for example, here's an example. If I'm dating a black girl and I have to return something, right? Let's say I have to return a cell phone. Again, Patrice O'Neill talked about this. I have to return a cell phone, right? And I go, look, I dropped this phone in the toilet. I need a new phone. And the guy's like, sir, we don't give free phone. You got to buy a new phone, blah, 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 blah. The black girl will literally push you out of the way. Like, no, hell no. Literally, like, push. Oh, no, you're going to give him a free phone if it's the last thing that happens here today. And she will cause a chaos, right? And you're like, okay, right? A white girl will let you handle it, and then when you get in the car, she'll go, "Oh, why? She wouldn't give it to you. It's just why. Next time you really need to be more careful. Like watch what you're doing with your phone in the bathroom. What are you doing with the phone in the bathroom anyway? See what happens. Like, just be more careful. And that's the difference. That's the biggest difference. So
you know what I think. You know what I think it might be too.
And it's general. I'm speaking generally. I'm speaking generally.
But it might also just be opportunity. Like, it might not be a lot of opportunity for a lot of demographics to even meet.
Right.
Like who's Brittany Renner just had a baby with? What's his name? Some basketball player. I don't know. She just had a baby with him. But she'd been like around him since he was in high school. So I think a lot of times in them cases too, unless they've been around somebody long enough, you might not even have access to them because they might be in spots you just not at. Well, it might just be where you are.
Let me put you like this. I doubt, and I could be 100% wrong, but I don't think I am. But I doubt that. No. Check it out. I doubt that most of these athletes, elite athletes, in the sports world, that have women of different ethnicities, are relationships that go way back. I think these motherfuckers, whether it's the woman or the dude, the woman or the athlete, they got together sporadically. We can make this happen.
That's what I'm saying.
Shit that goes way back, to link them up and say, they
kind of bond them together. Right?
They've been together for fucking 10 years or whatever. No.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like it's an opportunity. Like you said, they ain't been together since he was like practicing on JV and whatever junior high school he was at. He got to a point and she was in a circle where she was able to meet dude, like maybe when he was in college or when he just joined the league, and they try to see whatever could happen. You know what I mean? Like, and it's not everybody that will be able to be in them spaces.
If you want me to keep it a buck with you, I'm gonna tell you what I think. I think it's a fucking prestige thing. I say, well, I'm this dude. I'm at the top of the chain.
It's a forbidden fruit.
NBA, and I'm gonna go grab me a white.
It's not forbidden. It's not even forbidden anymore.
But tripping and doing that shit because it's a prestige thing.
Yeah, I think you're right, Steve. I think it's it's almost a mark of success having a beautiful white girl. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean,
but my problem with that is that if you can look at
Tiger Woods did it,
a white woman, an Asian woman, to give you that mark of success because you're a successful black dude, then why the fuck can't you have a successful or not even successful, just a black woman on your arm? Why?
But that's why I feel like it might not be at least in the 2018 plus era, it don't mean as much.
Listen, I'll be honest with you.
I mean?
If I ever got, no, it doesn't mean much anymore. I'll be honest with you. I'm going to speak generally. Okay.
You might get more headlines going within your own race at this point.
I'm going to speak generally. If I ever got divorced, which I never will, but if I ever did, I would probably only date Hispanic or Asian, because generally speaking, they kind of know how to treat a man like a man. They don't emasculate you. They make you feel like a man, where, American Western women, they don't,
I can agree with that.
They act like men more than, we talked about this once before, it's like, if you ask an American man, an American woman, what does a guy want in a girl? She'll literally describe a man. She'll say somebody that has ambitious and has a career and can hold her own. And it's like, no, that's not what I'm looking for in a woman. Nothing. You just describe what you want in a man. Like, that's not, none of them will say to be feminine, to cater to my man, to put him and our children and only our children before me, so on and so forth, to make the house feminine and beautiful, and to be his like helpmate, if you will. Right? None of them will say that. They'll literally break it down to like ambition, a woman with a career, a woman that's independent. And it's like, no, where are you getting this from? Where, you date a Hispanic woman or an Asian woman, and it's like, they know exactly how to treat a man, and
that's due to the culture.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's their upbringing.
Yeah, right. Culture. Which is, I think that's why a lot of guys go in that direction and not done.
But then again, you can't. I mean, I hear you, and I believe what you said. I agree with that. But that doesn't take. That's like, you can't say that to say that those are the only type of women that are about that.
No, I'm speaking generally.
There's no black or Spanish women that are down with that type of, scenario.
I'm speaking generally. Yeah.
Like, because there are those women that, black, Hispanic, that are the same way.
Yeah, but it's more about finding them. You know what I mean? Like, I'll give you a funny story. Okay. All right, here, Santi, you gotta click the link I sent you. Santi.
Yo, Mike, you're supposed to be on camera.
You're supposed to be on the show. You got to click the link I sent you, and then it'll bring you to the show with us.
Oh, that's what's the name?
Yeah,
that's Mike Santi. Yeah.
Yo, motherfucker, what are you doing?
He's trying to click the link.
I'll give you an example. When I used to go to Pennsylvania to visit my cousins, and they live in the sticks, right? And I used to do this thing where I used to meet a girl. Now, I could never do this in New York, because New York girls are different, but white girls outside of New York, outside of Jersey, are a little bit different. If I was feeling myself, I had a few drinks, and I saw a girl that I really liked, I would just walk over to her, and I would grab her by the hand, and I'd be like, "Who are you? I've never seen you here before." And there was the confidence and right. And a lot of times the white girls would react to that. They would be like, so-and-so, whatever. Now, the white girls in New York, they would just ignore me if it happened. Like the Italian girls or the Russian girls, they would just ignore me if that happened, or they'd pull away. Don't touch me. Now, I tried that once with a black girl, and it didn't work out the same way. So the response I got was, "Who am I? Who the fuck are you?" That was the response I got. And that's when I realized, oh, I'm playing on a different level here. There's a huge difference in the cultures here. Like black women are aggressive. They're like warlike. They're in your face. And if you don't know how to handle them, they'll tear you apart, and a lot of guys, don't want to deal with that. Like, it's immediate, immediate.
See, but I think that, I can agree with what you said to a certain extent. And I'm saying it from a black dude's point of view, right? Because I do believe what you said is somewhat true.
No, it's
right?
true. It's like I said, there are
No,
exceptions to the rule. Don't get me wrong.
no. I mean, because you can't categorize.
Yes,
Like
you
you can't
can.
just
Yes, you can.
can't just take one and say they're all like that.
No,
You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
saying the large majority are like that. There are
Because
plenty of women.
that's from you being a white guy approaching a black woman, and so like I can tell
You're gonna tell me that that's not the case. You're gonna tell me that.
I don't even know if that's the large
that might be the
majority.
case. That might be
It
the
might
case
just be
with
even
you,
the people I
right?
dealt with.
But I can tell you from my experience being a black dude with white women love me. White chicks love me. And
I know, but switch it around.
I'm just saying. So I mean, like,
talk about
I'm flipping the script, and I'm saying, well, I don't go do that shit with white women. White chicks love me.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is. I say, well, is it like, you can come up with all kinds of scenarios. Are these bitches curious about that black myth about
Steve,
black dudes having big dicks?
No.
What is it? You know what I mean? Like, is it just my personality because I'm a personable dude?
Steve, you are a very, very likable guy, and you have this magnetic personality. That's the God's honest truth. Okay.
Well, okay.
It happens to be true. And that my whole family loves you, and you met them twice, and they still ask me about you. You have that and I could totally see like girls being like, "Where's Steve? Get Steve." And
answering the door with lingerie because you left the phone in.
That's right.
I do agree with you with respect to the comparison. Because, like I said, I don't never have much of an issue. Like if I really wanted to talk to whatever white girl I saw in the room, I'm gonna step to her and we'll start talking, and it's probably gonna go pretty well. Right.
That's the difference.
But then at the same time, I might say the same thing about some black chick across the room, and I got to figure out a strategy how I'm going to approach this chick.
Exactly.
I'm like, oh, I don't know, she might shoot me down, or blah, blah, blah. I'm thinking all kinds of shit, right? But, that's the difference. I don't need to think that way if I'm approaching a woman of a different culture, because I'm just being me, right?
Yeah, right.
And that's usually good enough. And it's supposed to be, because that's all you're going to get. This is me.
I think that's John's point.
You're not getting no extra shit. Right?
Yeah, keep talking.
But when you go to for me, if I go to a black chick, I got to examine the whole perspective and be like, okay, this is one of these, Hasidity bitches that, she only want to deal with motherfuckers that work, that got six figures and this, that, and the other thing. All kinds of shit. Calculations are coming into play before you approach her because you want to know how to approach her, right? So, you kind of rethink your whole strategy before you step to her, right? But that is the difference in itself. But then at the same time, I'm the same dude. So it's like, if you don't like me for who I am, bitch, I don't give a fuck who you are, black, Puerto Rican, Chinese, white. And if you ain't feeling me, then you can kiss my motherfucking ass, because this is me and I ain't gonna change my way for you or nobody else. And either you feeling me or you're not. You know what I mean? And that's
what happens. I feel like that might be why sometimes a lot of people end up with different people.
Yeah.
Because that's how you should feel. You should feel exactly like that. And you shouldn't change. So now it's not on you. Now it's on the person you pursuing, right?
Yeah. Right.
And that might be why a lot of shit plays out the way the shit plays out. Because if you feel the way you should, and now it's on that person, and the person that is the person that keep making it difficult, right? That other person that's the pursuer, they keep meeting people. Whether it be person A, person B, person C, they all keep meeting people. But the person that's being pursued is still alone. So then at some point, it ain't the pursuer, it's the pursued.
True.
You know what I mean? But at the same time, they shouldn't change who they are either. Because at some point, I'm not going to be able to be that for you. So I'm not changing me, and you ain't changing you. And that's just what it is. It's just what it is.
I be on the dating site, right? I be on the dating site, and these bitches be talking about, oh, like when they give the description of themselves, talk about, I know my worth, right? I know my worth. And
yeah, they got 3 kids, 2 different fathers. It's like, what?
Yeah, right. 3 kids, 2 different fathers, right? And then she'd be a big bloated Kool-Aid looking bitch. I know my worth, bitch. You better go on a keto diet, goddammit. The fuck are you talking about? You know your worth. You acting like you a dime piece, and you're not even a motherfucking red cent. What the fuck are you talking about? I know my worth, bitch. You better go on a diet. And body type, average. Average what? Average big butterball, bitch?
Well, average elephant, average rhino.
You making demands and talking all this shit, and you want that dude, but you ain't adding up and living up to your expectations.
And the guys that here's another thing that girls don't want to believe. The guys that are making the big money and the athletes and so on and so forth. Do you think they have to change for you? Why would they go after him?
That's another thing too. They
have the pick of the bunch. They could pick whomever they want, and they have the best choice there. They pick girls, literally throw themselves at them, and they have the best choice. They could pick and choose whoever they want. And then these girls come out talking like, I know my worth. Meanwhile, like you said, they're fat, they got 3 kids with, divorced. And it's like, why would he pick you?
Exactly.
Over a girl who's 25, smoking hot, no kids.
Hey, I know my worth. You ain't worth shit.
Yeah.
Fuck it. You're not worth my time, bitch. You talking all that shit. I know I'm my worth. What the fuck are you talking about?
All right.
That's crazy.
Meditation writing waves. I don't know who that is, but he says Mike Tyson went the Northman on them fools. Yeah, I know. We talk. Oh shit! So we got a new guy coming in. Mike Tyson went
meditation.
Oh shit! This is my friend Joe. We grew up together.
What's up, Joe? What's going on?
Meditation.
Oh shit, Joe, that's been at it.
Yo, some of my wall creeping into the picture.
Yeah, Joe, this is Kung Fu Timmy. Joe,
what's up?
And you already know Steve.
Into the picture.
Joe, this is Kung Fu Timmy.
Yo, what's up? How you doing?
Hold on, we gotta lower. Somebody's got Joe. You got your TV on or something? You gotta lower. Hold on, we gotta lower. Somebody's got.
Oh, Johnny wants surround sound now.
TV on or something? You gotta lower.
How about now?
There we go. Much better.
Hey, Joe, when you come on this podcast, you gotta come correct, man. You can't be coming in with muffled sounds.
Yo, my man had the bottle. He got the cigar
right background.
there.
You can't be doing that, Joe. You can't be coming in. I'm fucking with you.
My man had the bottle. He got the cigar. Oh, Lord. Is that my voice? Oh, my God.
Wait.
Who's that in the background?
Hold on. Echo.
Well, I'm saying, I see somebody walking around in the background. Like, who's that?
Oh, he left. All right.
He left. He saw me looking at that chick walking around the back. He said, "Oh, well, let me get out of here."
Yo, Steve. When you said that shit, right? I had a flashback. I was at the Rasmus house one time, and my tongue came all the way out my mouth. I was like, "Yo, who's that?" He was like, "Yo, don't worry about who that is."
Was it sister?
Oh, okay. Nah.
Is his mother?
Nah.
Is his aunt? Is his grandmother?
Mm-mm. I'm gonna let you keep guessing.
It's not his wife. Really?
It was like my 6 month working there.
Oh man.
Yeah. Yo, you looking at Lauren like you was thirsty.
Yeah. See, you that's the difference. That's the difference.
Didn't matter to me.
Yeah. Listen, it is what it is, son. You know, if you got
what?
He was like, "Yo, don't worry about who that is."
You a motherfucker, man. You don't appreciate.
It would have made the situation a little easier. I'd be like,
don't worry about who that. How about this? It's my wife. Hit the button. I like your content. Support this man. Thank you, man. Meditation, writing waves. Yeah, please.
There we go.
Thank you very much.
Yo, like and subscribe.
Yes,
hit
like
the
and
notification bell.
There we go. Joe's back. Let's try this again.
I figured it out. All right.
There we go. We got him.
I figured it out. We good.
What's up,
There we go.
What is it? You with your son?
Nah. Cello's home. I got Michelle's here. Baby's sleeping.
Oh, where's Michelle?
She's watching something on the couch over there. Something else.
All right. So, Joe, what do you think? You think these young dudes don't know about consequences? Like when Mike Tyson whipped those two young guys' ass?
No one gets their ass beat anymore, dude.
That's what it is.
No one gets their ass beat anymore. No one got a belt broken over the ass. No one got a spoon broken over the elbow.
Yeah.
No one gets beaten anymore. That's the problem.
That's the truth.
It's necessary.
That's that old school shit.
Yo, I definitely got my ass whooped every
I told
time.
my son 15. Cello, wait till you see Cello. He's like maybe this much shorter than me right now.
Really?
Wrestling, baseball, weighs about 125 pounds. And he don't get his ass beat because he's not around enough for me to kick his ass every once in a while. So
what are you gonna? He's divorced. So what are you gonna do? Kick the shit out of him for the
right?
weekend?
And I'll get locked up.
Yeah. My brother had the same problem when he was divorced. You know, he had the kids like every other weekend. It's like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna fucking you're gonna like punish them on the weekend. Every other weekend that you have them. You know, it sucks. But
it's 22. Like you want to listen. You're gonna respect me, or else it's gonna be a problem. There'll be some serious consequences. You're gonna be.
You fuck around and get in trouble for that shit nowadays, Joe.
Yeah, Santi, you could come in next time, man. Forget it. We're almost done already. We're on for an hour.
I mean, like laying your hands on your kids and trying to chastise them and all that bullshit. You get in trouble for that shit now.
It's not even that. But it's not even that. What about just getting into a fight as a kid? You know what I mean?
That's what I was thinking.
Violence interrupters get involved.
It's like you have this entitlement attitude where like I could run amok and I could act obnoxious, and there's no line they can't cross, and it's like there is a line, and those guys found out the line.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, like I think, like what Joe was saying, you do what you got to do at the appropriate time. But like that was then. Now it's so different. You know what I mean? Like you can't do that shit now, without some kind of consequence.
Yo, did you ever see that? Did you ever see that video of the mother talking to her kid? I think it was on some talk show. I want to say Dr. Phil. I don't know. And the mother's telling the son something. No. The mother's telling the son something, and then the son he has to be like 9 or 10 years old. He just smacks his mother. Wow.
No, I never did no shit like that.
And she just sits there, and I'm like, what?
Like he smacks his mom?
You never saw that shit?
In my world. That would never happen.
I would have never even thought. The thought would have never crossed my mind. My head at my mother. Yo.
I'm watching this. I'll send it to you guys when it's like, and it's like I'm just waiting for him to for the mom to rip his eyes out of his head, and nothing happens. And it's like, what? I went to Disney World last year. I wasn't at Disney World. It was Epcot and Universal. Same shit though.
Same shit.
And it's like I saw kids bugging, son, and the parents are just like nothing. And it's like, what?
See, there'll be nothing that would stop me from breaking my foot off of my kid's ass if he was acting up. If he was acting up, running around acting all crazy and running amok, and you try to settle him down like, Junior, get over here, motherfucker. And he's running out.
Meditation says that meditation. Guys always had guns, man. You guys are young. In the 80s and 90s in New York City, it was like the wild, wild west.
What? We whipped your kid's ass.
Hold on, no. I'm saying he says meditation says, but fellas, we have to be careful. People got guns, can't let.
I know what he's saying though.
It was a lot worse in the 70s, 80s, and 90s with guns.
Especially
guns and all that shit. What do y'all think about this though? I kind of understand what he's saying. I'm assuming it's a he. I don't know.
Yeah.
I do feel like today people are more prone to settle things by shooting people. I don't know what it was like in like the 80s or the 70s. In terms of just like two dudes had a disagreement in the street. Would they fist fight or would they go to just shoot each other?
Joe, how old's your father?
54.
Did he take a gun to work with him?
Could he or would he?
What did he back in the day?
If he had to, yeah.
Yeah. My father used to take a gun to work with him, dude.
But not saying that
he has the revolver. He used to have a revolver on him at all times.
Right, but not saying that you wouldn't have it necessarily.
Different era.
Because I do believe that you have it.
No, well, when people say
that.
But
I mean, like, I feel like now it's a little more. Nobody want to get in a fist fight. Like nobody want to feel.
Nobody wants to get into a fist fight, but not because people got guns. No, it's not about that.
I'm saying I think they use the guns instead of that possibility.
No. There were more guns on the street in the 70s, 80s, and 90s in New York City.
Before Giuliani.
Before Giuliani. It was not, dude. It was the Wild West. Dude, it was ridiculous. My father used to give his foreman a gun just in case Local 3, because he was an electrical contractor, just in case Local 3 would raid the job site because he was a non-union contractor. And they'd be like, "Oh, dude, they're picketing outside. They're gonna fuck up the job." My father would just give him a gun and say, "Here, put this in your toolbox." And the guy would go to work with a gun in his toolbox.
That's right.
But if that dude got into an argument in the street,
what I'm saying is, when people say that it's just not nearly as true as it was in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Not even close, dude. Not even close. It's not even. It was my brothers had guns on them. Everybody had a piece on them. It wasn't. It was the Wild West in New York City.
Social media, phone.
Yeah, but see, it was the Wild West for different reasons. Like, for example, like I know what you're saying, John, and that's 100% true. But like to put it in perspective, as far as like if you got into a fight, right? Back in the day, in the 70s, 80s, there was guns all over the fucking place, streets and whatnot.
Yeah.
But they weren't specifically geared towards, like, if you got a beef where you had to settle it with a dude or a group of dudes or whatever. It was knives, chains, or just straight up fist. You threw down, you fought, right? It wasn't like, oh, we got beef, so everybody's breaking out their fucking tools.
But that's
but fucking bullets are flying all over the place.
In New York, in New York City, the gun violence in New York City, the gun violence is not even close to what it was in the 70s, 80s,
era, right?
Not yet. The Koch era, it may have been not even close.
But it was for different purposes, John. It was a different.
It doesn't matter.
No, it does matter.
Well, what I'm trying to say, what I'm trying to say is,
the gun violence. The gun violence was not due to like just beef.
But you're talking as if that didn't happen. That happened more so in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. More so. The reason why kids don't fight today is because they're just not brought up the same. They're not tough. When I was a kid, if I got into a fight and I didn't fight back, my parents would my father or my mother would kick the shit out of me because I didn't fight back. All right. Now it's
and ask questions later.
That's
what they do now.
Now it's let's contact the parents, let's contact the teacher. Bullying, so on and so forth. It's never about self-defense. It's not about you got to be careful they have guns. There's been guns in the street forever and 100 times more in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. It was ridiculous. The Red Hook projects used to average 3 deaths a summer. I mean, it was not even close, dude. Not even close, especially in New York City. Now, there's cities like Chicago and Cleveland that are bad now. Baltimore is bad, but New York City is not even close to what it was. Not even close. And kids aren't fighting.
John, I hear what you're saying, but I disagree with the respect of saying that the gun violence, was just as prevalent back then, if not way more than then than even now. But
which is what I said.
But different. But for different. But for different reasons. Like right now, the gun violence is prevalent because kids nowadays, nobody knows nothing about confronting their enemy head to head.
No, yeah. They don't do that
with like, fist, chains, knives, whatever. Everybody just pulls out a fucking gun.
No,
That's
that's not.
Back in the day, we didn't do that.
No,
it happens a lot.
The police.
Now that the gun violence wasn't there, but it wasn't.
Dude, the gun violence
it wasn't.
It's
on
not
that
nearly.
level
The kids aren't.
Defense.
The kids today aren't fighting because they're afraid of guns on the street. The kids today are fighting because they're not grown up as being taught to be defending themselves. Everything is bullying. Everything is we're going to get the teacher fired. We're going to contact the parents, so on and so forth. Okay, it is
bullshit.
That is true.
Bullshit.
That is exactly how that happens. That is true. Gun violence was a million times worse in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. You could look it up statistically. It's not even an argument, dude. It's not even an argument.
But you know what I'm saying. You think I'm telling you that as far as the violence geared towards like confrontations back then was not about pulling out a gun. It was about your hands, your back, chain or knife. It wasn't about pulling out a gun.
Yeah, guys would get shot.
That's all it's about.
No, that's not true. Guys would get shot. Guys would get shot on the regular in Bensonhurst. On the regular in Bensonhurst. It's not even close, dude. There would be shootouts. It's not even close.
You know what the big difference is? It's the law enforcement right now, right? Back in the 70s, you got arrested, you got your shit handed to you in the precinct, right? Nowadays, cops ain't scared to touch you. They don't even go near you. So that's the problem we have right now. You got a lot of kids and a lot of people going out there going, no big deal. I'm going to get caught, but I'm going to be out tomorrow. I'm going to get paroled. I'm going to get this. I'm going to get that. You know? Way more guns back in the day. Way more guns. You never had a give back programs in the 70s? Hell no.
All right, the meditation writing waves ask a question. He says, let me ask, are you all going to slug it out with another man in today's world? At 46 years old, my mentality is only if it's absolutely necessary. You know, if you're in high school, if you're in high school or you're in the neighborhood, you have to at least defend yourself. Okay, because you don't want to have the reputation of if you don't at least defend yourself, you'll never have any respect, and nobody will ever. They'll just keep coming for you, and you'll be a target.
But a lot of people now defend themselves by just shooting people.
That's not true. That's not true. No, it's not nearly as true as it was in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. I'm telling you, it's not even close. It's not even close.
Yourself nowadays is life threatening. Like, listen.
It was a million times worse in the 70s, 80s, and 90s as far as New York City is concerned with gun violence.
Statistically,
not even close.
I understand what you're saying, John. Statistically, but I'm talking about being a realist in the streets. It wasn't like there was guns surrounding the whole environment.
You're saying it's the easy way
I'm talking about when you got a confrontation. Now it's like young kids is running up on you, sticking you up, pistol whipping and shooting you and all that bullshit.
Right. Steve, let me ask you one question. You grew up in the Bronx, right?
Yeah.
What was the Bronx like? What year were you born in?
I was born in 62. I grew up in the 70s.
Okay, let's fast forward 10, 15 years in the 70s. What was the Bronx like in the 70s?
It was crazy. It was what they call fucking Fort Apache, the OK Corral. It was crazy.
Okay, what's the Bronx like now?
A lot different.
Very nice.
Close to the same shit. It's close to the same shit.
No, it's not even close.
No.
Not even
but you got to hear me out.
No.
It's not the same, but it's the same in a different way.
No, it's not the same.
Yes, it is.
What is the Bronx like now?
The Bronx is not no motherfucking haven.
It's not the suburb.
It's okay now.
It's not the
suburb.
It's
still a fucking. It's still a fucking stomping ground.
Jesus
it's
Christ.
crazy.
It's not the. When was it worse? In 1972 or 2022?
It was worse back then.
Oh, thank you. Jesus Christ. Took me a half hour to get you out.
But John, listen.
But I think you say it was worse for different
you're
reasons.
Asking me, but you're not letting me answer.
I'm telling you,
from a kid that grew up in the 70s,
Yeah,
I know what it was like back then, as opposed to what I see it's like right now. And I'm telling you from firsthand experience that the
it was
Bronx,
worse then.
it might have been worse to a certain degree for different reasons back then as opposed to now. Now, the guns are so fucking prevalent where it's the kids are just so blatant with the gun activity that it's not the same. Even though gun activity was crazy back then, it's not the same as now.
Okay,
You
Steve,
can't
when
relate if you wasn't there. And I'm trying to tell you.
In the 70s, when you were walking around in the Bronx, okay, how many buildings were burnt down to the ground?
John,
how many buildings? How many
it
buildings?
was fucked up back then.
Okay, how many buildings are burnt down to the ground in the Bronx today?
Still some, but not as many.
Come on. Don't be.
Still some, but not as many.
Yeah. How many?
But at the same time, we're not talking about burnt down buildings.
No. Yes, we are, because the community in the Bronx was fucking horrible in the 70s. Horrible. The gang violence was
but the gang activity is different than what it was back then.
The gang violence in the 1970s in the Bronx was insane. It was absolutely insane.
John, let me tell you something. I lived it. I know what I'm talking about.
I know.
I lived it. I know what I'm talking about.
I'm not much younger than you.
I know about gangs. I know about gangs and walking the streets and watching your back, because gangs were like crazy back then. But the gang activity now,
right? Okay,
it's a whole millennium difference.
Well, you walk down the street in the Bronx in 1972, right? In the South Bronx in 1972. How many buildings are burnt down to the ground in the South Bronx in 1972?
Compared to today,
the majority of them.
Okay, you walk down the South Bronx and now in 2022, how many buildings are burnt down to the ground?
Quite a few, but not as many.
Don't say quite a few, not as many. Be honest. How many buildings are burnt down to the ground? How many buildings are burnt down to the ground in the South Bronx?
Okay, so where are you going with that, though?
Because the crime was insane and the Bronx was mayhem in the 70s.
Yes, I get that, John.
Right.
But
so
what I'm saying is,
when there is more poverty and the communities are a mess, there is more gun violence. It goes hand in hand. There is a direct correlation between poverty and violence.
Not still poverty-stricken.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's a hell of a lot better.
What are you saying?
I'm saying it's a hell of a lot better.
It's a hell of a lot better, but at the same time, it's still bad to a certain degree because times have changed. John, we're not talking about 1970, 80, or 90. We're talking 2020.
Right. So my argument is it was worse then. Right. So my argument is it was worse then.
The degree of poverty, strickenness, and all that kind of shit has changed, and the whole multitude of how crime has changed as well.
Right. Poverty has gotten better.
It's a different demographic altogether.
You're making no sense. What does demographics have to do with it?
No, don't say that, John. It's a different demographic altogether.
Yeah, Timmy, what does he say?
The gun violence was probably worse then, right?
It wasn't probably. It wasn't probably. It was obscene. It was obscene back then.
That shit works out today, maybe from out of even more of a left field, then you might have even known shit was going to go down. Like, not to say that it's better now. Obviously, 2022 going to be better than 1970. That's obvious. Like, if we weren't moving in that direction, we're doing something wrong. But like, you might go outside and be like, "Yo, you shot somebody over that. You stepped on. Did what?"
Now, you don't think that happened?
No, it happened.
No, it happened. It happened.
Like with the story where you said somebody put a gun in the toolbox in case they got raided.
Right.
Somebody might just have a gun just because they don't want to fight.
That's not the norm. It's not. That's no.
But it happens more now, I think.
No, it doesn't. No, not even close.
I think it does.
Not even close.
I think
how many guys do you know carry guns to work?
I work with y'all.
They may
I
not
know.
carry
I don't
guns.
know how many y'all
Wait,
carry.
How
they
many?
may not carry guns to
I
our
feel like
job, but you got
nobody.
The number
this
is
is where
zero.
you get me
Yeah, but
twisted.
I'm not
No,
talking
They
about
may not
us though,
carry
John. I'm talking
guns
about
to
like
our
the
job.
16-year-olds.
Listen,
The
the
14-year-olds.
number is zero.
The
The number of
12-year-olds.
guys that carry guns to work today that we work with
John,
is
I'm not
zero.
talking about us.
It doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
we
It
work
is
with.
I'm
zero.
talking about like 12-year-olds and 14-year-olds.
12-year-olds and 14-year-olds were carrying guns then too. It was much, much worse in the Bronx and in New York City in general. A million times worse.
Are you
And
talking
anybody
about, like,
who
people
says
in
it's
gangs and shit?
gangs, gun
I mean,
violence,
how many kids do you
poverty in
know?
general.
How many friends do you know that carried a gun to school?
When I was a kid
Yeah.
in Brooklyn, it was
No.
cool. No, I
Yo,
said there
now,
was a couple.
at my
How
old
many?
school, they got metal detectors now.
Right
In that
now,
shit.
but I don't know if
You
you guys
can't
say
even
none. You might
go
know
through the
one or
front
two.
door.
Guys,
right?
You gotta
this
go
isn't,
through a metal
guys, this
detector.
isn't even an argument. This isn't even an argument. It's not
Yes,
even
it is.
close. No, it's not. It's not even close.
Yes,
it's not
it
even
is.
close. No, it's not. It's not even close. In the 70s and 80s, it was the Wild West in fucking New York City. Okay, it was not even close. Look at Times Square.
Argument is
Look
not.
at Times Square.
I'm not
Look at
disputing
Times
that,
Square
John.
now, and
What I'm saying to you is
look at
that
Times
you're
Square
trying
now.
to compare and
Excuse me.
say that
Look at Times
now
Square
it's
now,
so
and look at
much better.
Steve. Look
Hell's
at Times,
Kitchen was called
look at-
Hell's Kitchen for a reason.
for a reason. Look at Times Square now
I'll go to
as
Hell's
opposed to
Kitchen.
Times Square in 1975.
You can't even get a hamburger in Hell's Kitchen for less than $50.
Yeah, exactly. They should call it Hell's Condos now. I mean, it was not, yeah, it's not even an argument. It's not even comparable. You could walk around in New York City in any neighborhood. I could be as a
Times
white
Square.
guy.
Remember the peep shows in Times Square?
As a white guy, I could walk around in Harlem right now and feel safe. I couldn't do that in 1982.
Yeah, okay.
I could not do that in 1982.
Right, I get that. But
And as a black
that's
guy,
not taking away.
as a black guy,
that's not taking away the fact that crime and the whole, if you want to put it as far as saying gentrification and poverty and all that nonsense, all of that has not evolved until the new millennium. It's like, yeah, I get it, but you're saying it's 100% right. It was bad as a fuck back then. And the comparison from then to now, the way you put it, like how you couldn't walk around in Harlem back then, but you could walk around Harlem now. There are more white people in Harlem than probably than black people.
Exactly.
Right? But that's then, this is now. But that doesn't take away the fact that crime still exists, the hood still exists, crime still exists.
I'm not saying
But
it
it's in
doesn't
a
exist. I'm saying it was worse then.
it's in a different demographic. So
Demographic. How is it a
back
different
then it was
demographic?
because of this and that, and that's the way it was back then. But now
How is it a different demographic?
because just like how you couldn't walk around in Harlem in
I think he's trying to say, like,
1980,
circumstances.
and you can walk around now. Look at that demographic. Look how the flip was, the whole script was flipped. You can walk around now, Harlem, like you live there and you're good, right? You couldn't do that shit in the 80s.
Exactly.
You get fucked up.
That's
right.
That's what I'm saying.
But so the same demographic applies to the violence.
You're using the wrong
violence
word.
has evolved just like how it went from you couldn't walk around in Harlem to now it's gentrified. The same way that's flipped,
right?
So has the gun violence and the violence in general from then to now.
It's less now.
I think you mean the circumstances, right? Because it is less now.
What circumstances?
The circumstances to where you might get a gun pulled on you. Like the gun violence in general is less now. I think that's what he means, right?
Timmy, gun violence is less now, period. But if you're
I'm agreeing with you. It is less, but the circumstances to which the gun violence still exists.
What circumstances are
more
different now?
More randomness.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. How many more stick-up guys were back in the 70s and 80s?
You have more guns. You have more crime.
Stick-up guys, but they might not have always killed the person.
Oh, come on, Timmy.
Bad shots.
What do you mean?
Come on, that's ridiculous.
If you pull a gun out, you don't always kill them.
And same thing in 1972. If you pull a gun out, you're never gonna.
I'm saying I agree with you. But what I'm saying is that even though gun violence is down now, the circumstances where it's still prevalent is in a different circumstance even comparatively. That
But
circumstance might be low.
But what circumstance?
Just a random. I don't want to fight you, so I'm going to shoot.
You're gonna think
I know that
happened.
You're
gonna
think that it
no,
I'm not saying that. I didn't say that. I'm not saying that.
So then I'm right. So then I'm right.
But what I'm saying, what I'm saying is that you are more likely to get that now.
No,
even though the gun violence is low.
No, not
because people are
not
prone to not want to fight.
No, not at all. No. No,
it's low. It's lower. It's lower.
Listen,
but it's not gone. It hasn't disappeared.
Here is a general rule of how violence works. I beat you down with a fist. You're going to come at me with a bat. You beat me down with a bat. I'm coming at you with a knife. You beat me down with a knife. I'm coming at you with a gun. It was the same in 1972. 10 times worse.
But I don't think that happens now.
Excuse me. Because the gang violence was 100 times worse. Poverty was 100 times worse, and organized crime was 100 times worse. It wasn't. It's not even
corruption
close.
was out of control back then.
Corruption was insane.
But John, when do you hear anything about organized crime, or when do you hear anything about the news about somebody get beat down with a bat?
So you know what you're making it sound like, John? You're making it sound like. Here's what you're making it sound like. Not that I don't agree with what you're saying, but you're making it sound like in today's world, what we live in right now. We're walking on easy street, like it's all good.
You are.
No.
How many people? How many people
think so?
How many
people think that it's all good right now?
Yes. How many people had the Ring doorbell in 1972?
I don't give a fuck about all that
matters a lot. How many? It matters a lot.
That shit don't mean nothing.
Yes, it does.
You gotta live in the real world.
No, that is the real world. That is the real world.
All the cameras all over the place. Crime still exists.
I'm not saying it doesn't exist.
Every fucking day, no matter what you got.
Steve.
What are you talking about?
You're not being reasonable here. There are cameras. You're not being reasonable. There are cameras everywhere. People have the Ring doorbell.
That don't mean shit,
yes,
Johnny.
It does.
That don't mean shit.
It don't mean shit.
Excuse me. That cameras, Ring doorbells, none of that shit means nothing.
Yes, it does.
People still commit crimes.
Stop.
On the camera, like they don't give a fuck that they're being filmed. They don't care. It don't mean nothing. That's not.
It means they get caught in a heartbeat today.
What?
It means they get caught in a heartbeat today.
And what? You think these guys that are committing these crimes give a fuck about getting caught? Because if they did, they wouldn't be committing crimes in the first place.
They will get caught.
That has nothing to do with that.
What about DNA? Did we have blood DNA? How about hair follicles DNA, sweat DNA? Did we have that in 1972? You are so much safer today. It's not even close.
I'm not saying you're not safer.
No, we're not saying you're not safer today.
But I'm saying you're still not safe. I'm not saying you're not safer.
What's the discussion?
But I'm saying you're still not safe.
No,
I think we got to go back to the original comment.
We're better off than we were 40 years ago. We're good. We're not good. Still shit is going on here like crazy.
It's never going to stop.
More evolved and more prevalent now than back then.
You are so much more safe now than in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. It's not even. You could, as a black man, you could walk down Bensonhurst today with your whole family, no problems whatsoever. In 1982, you couldn't do that. All right.
I don't think think we're not safe for Timmy.
I get that. I get that.
I've gone out.
I still think that nowadays you still have to watch your motherfucking back.
But nobody's saying that you don't have to watch your back. What I'm saying is the gun violence and poverty and violence in general was so much greater back then that you literally, there were neighborhoods you could not walk in.
You weren't hearing about it because people are just numb to it. Why are you going to repeat the same thing?
I think we got to go back to the original comment.
I know
so that we could see what we're talking about. The original comment was
has a difference, John.
You gotta be careful with the hands or something like that because people are quick to pull a gun. Now, I don't know, John, Steve, when y'all was growing up, when y'all was like 17, 18, when y'all got in a fist fight, would y'all be thinking in the back of your mind they might shoot you?
Yes.
The homeboy said, can't date no women from Bensonhurst. Jungle fever was real. And he's right.
He was right. Yeah. No, Timmy, it was fucking, yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Joe,
always.
you thought that too?
There was always a
like
shooter.
In the back of your mind, if you got in a fist fight, the dude you fist fighting might just shoot you because he was losing.
Look, stupid shit happens all the time. You never listen.
No, see,
I understand it, but I'm saying if you had a problem with somebody and you got in a fist fight with them,
that's
in the back of your mind.
Some people don't get shook, right? You got boys that don't get shook. I got friends that don't get shook for nothing. You can put the power on his face. He's not even a blink.
Timmy,
I got dudes that as soon as you raise the hand, they duck and they coming back. That's
those people, and I'm saying like those people that duck and call back. I'm not saying that we're not safe now, but what I'm saying is I think those people that duck and call back got more emboldened to just shoot instead of even just ducking and call back.
Look,
and I'm sure it happened back in the day too.
It's not
even
generally speaking, right? On a complete.
That wasn't part of the culture, Timmy. That wasn't part of the culture.
That's what I think. I think that's part of the culture now.
Back in the day when you fought.
Answer my question.
Let's say you and I had beef and we fought. Me and you might have been friends and we might have even been enemies. But when we fought, say I stepped to you, you stepped to me, we fought, right? We fought physically. Even if it involved a bat or a knife or a chain or whatever, with no guns being pulled out. Right? Wait. With no guns being pulled out. And we fought. And then when that shit was done, it was done, okay? And that was the end of that. There wasn't no, I'm coming to this fight with a gun. It's an OK Corral type of shit. I'm going to blast this nigga. I'm going to blow his fucking head off, and that's going to be the end of that. You know what I mean? It wasn't none of that. Nowadays, that's all it's about. Nobody wants to fight. Nobody wants to throw up their hands. Nobody wants to swing a bat or a knife. Well, yeah, knife, But nobody wants to physically get engaged with somebody when they can just pull out a fucking weapon and blast you. Right. That's how they get down nowadays.
So listen.
They didn't do that shit back then.
Yes,
it was around us, and it was going on for different reasons. But as far as confrontations, that's not how we got down. But not to say. Not
Joe,
to
let Joe
about the violence. Yeah, the violence was there, and that shit was real.
No, it wasn't there. It was obnoxious.
No. I'm saying not to take away from what you were saying. I'm saying that the violence was there and it was real. You know what I mean? But I'm talking about confrontations. Now it's a gunfight. That's
let Joe talk. Go ahead, Joe. What are you gonna say?
You got 8 million people in New York City, right? All right. Yeah. So just think about how big New York City is, right? Something always going to happen. But statistically, think about this statistically, right? Let's just say back then, 70% of the people, 80% of people had some kind of firearm. Today, that number is less than half. Less than half. Easy. You can't get your hands on it. Not legally. I'm divorced. I can't get my shotgun rifle license because I'm divorced. So forget about, getting something the way you want to get it, or you're going to go, I'm a licensed individual. I'm professional. I'm not going to go risk my profession to go buy some heater on the street with some serial number scraped off. So statistically, you have less firearms. You have half the firearms, right? So you statistically going to have half the opportunities for something like that to happen, right? When you think about just Times Square, think about Times Square right now. You could walk around Times Square. You could strip yourself naked. Nothing's going to happen to you. Someone's going to come put a towel on you and walk you away. In the 80s,
you couldn't walk around Times Square,
right? You couldn't walk around Times Square. I used to go hang out on the West Side, Twilo, Sound Factory. We would run.
I don't disagree.
I agree with you. I agree with you. But again, I'm bringing it back to the comment.
It's a joke.
Like the comment was literally about fist fighting.
He literally just broke it down to you, though.
I'm not denying that the gun violence is lower today, or the amount of guns on the street is lower today. But the comment that homie was saying was about the fist fighting.
My whole point was that you have this tremendous, dense amount of people, and you have a far less opportunity for gun violence because those guns aren't there. You can't have gun violence without a gun, right?
Right.
I understand the mentality.
I'm not talking about gun violence.
What?
I'm not talking about gun violence.
What did you say, Joe?
According to statistics of guns killing people for guns killing people's sake. Because obviously, if you have a lower like pool of it. It can't be the same
Right.
as what
You
it was
have
back in
less
the day.
opportunity.
I'm with you on that.
Okay.
But again, he's not talking about gun violence. Like
You're
he didn't say,
talking
"Oh,
about the mindset.
we're talking about
You're
like if
talking
I
about-
got a problem with you, right?" And probably if we're really going about it, we're talking about a younger generation. We ain't talking about people even our age that got a problem and we out and we want to fight each other. We're probably talking about kids that, like you said, were the kids that didn't want to fight. They didn't want to knuckle up. That's what the comment was about. And that's where I'm coming from with it. I understand that we safer today. We got more security today. There's less guns on the street today. I get that. But I just feel like from what I'm seeing, that the circumstances of I could put my hands on this dude or I could just shoot him. I'ma just shoot him. I don't want to put my hands on this dude.
No, I don't agree. I don't agree at all. I don't agree at all.
Thank you.
I don't agree at all.
But I do agree that there's less guns on the street, obviously, yeah. So that's going to bring gun violence down, obviously, and we safer today, obviously. To me, the caveat is you could have a problem with somebody and they just shoot you just because they want to fight you, even though it's less guns on the street, because you don't know who has or who doesn't have a gun.
No, I don't agree.
And
with
I
that
think
at
that's
all.
what his comment was alluding to.
No,
You don't know who has a gun.
No, I don't.
There could be 10 guns on a block of 100 people. You might run into the dude that got one of those 10 guns.
But yeah,
and he might not want to fight you. He might just be like, I would rather shoot you and make sure that I don't even got to feel nothing than I put my hands up and risk even getting punched in the face.
Right. No. How often do you see nowadays that that's what they do? There's nobody knuckling up no more.
The reason why, listen,
you got a problem, motherfucker. Let's do this, right? And throw up their hands. They pulling out a fucking gat and they want to blast you, and that's it.
It's not any more or less than it was back then, and it was more so back then. The reason why kids don't fist fight today is not because I could just shoot you. The reason why kids don't fist fight today is because they're not taught self-defense, and everything is
bullshit.
It is very true. It is very
That's
true.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
That's bullshit. They're not taught self-defense. Get the fuck out of here, John.
Steve,
they're not taught self-defense.
Listen, let me finish my point. Let me finish my point. When I say not taught self-defense, what I mean is they don't have a father sitting them down saying, if anybody puts your hands on you, you knuckle up and you fight and you defend yourself. I don't mean taking karate, okay?
I know what you mean.
That's what I mean, okay? Today, when kids want to get into a fight, they say it's anti-bullying and there's no bullying, and then we're going to contact the parents and we're going to contact the school and we're going to put the kid in therapy. And no, how is that? What am I saying that is not true? That everything I'm saying is completely
that's true, John, but that's not reality.
That is reality.
That might be. No, it's not. Get the fuck out of here. You're talking about, because nobody driving these kids in the right direction to get them in the mindset of defending themselves without using a weapon. That is the total most crazy shit I ever heard.
No, that is not true. That's exactly what's happening. That's happening.
When you were in school, did you get into a fight?
What?
When you were in school, did you get into a fight?
All the time.
Okay, wait, hold on. You scrapped, right? What happened?
We fought.
And then what happened?
And then the next day we were cool. You know what I mean?
What did the school do? Hold on. What did the school do?
Huh?
What did the school do? What did the teachers do? What happened? Like, what was the consequence? What happened?
The school did nothing.
Oh,
exactly.
Time out. Stop right there.
The school did nothing.
All right, that's it. No. Let him finish. Let him finish his. No.
Hold on.
Steve, let him finish his point, Steve.
The school, hold on.
Steve, I'm going to mute you if you don't fucking stop.
But
go ahead, Joe. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So, Steve, the difference is today, right? The school takes you, they bring you into a room with a guidance counselor and a therapist and a violence interrupter, and you have a discussion and you have a conversation. You have a cool down period. You don't get detention. You don't get, suspended. They let you stay home for a couple of days. They have counselors come to the house and talk to you, right? And the same thing happens to the other kid. And then after 3-4 days, when they determine that it was cooled down, they bring you in the same room again and you have a conversation. You shake hands. Back then, you beat the shit out of each other, right? What happened? The teacher said, "Oh, go over there, go." The next day, it was like nothing happened, right? That is the difference.
But that ironically is why I feel like shit is not that it's worse today, but it's for dumber reasons. Because you don't have that anymore. Like, I would get in fights too. They wouldn't send me to no guidance
I wish
counselor.
stupidity would evolve, but stupidity is never going to evolve. We're going to have stupidity 20 years ago. We're going to have stupidity 20 years from now.
Yeah, we are. But I'm saying I feel like it's getting shoved now in the direction of, well, we're going to coddle you. But what happens when the bully at school don't stop? Because they're not talking to the bully either.
They move to another school. He does shit someplace else.
It don't always happen
What
like that.
what about when you get into a beef with a kid, like say on your block, that don't even go to your school, and so you got a constant beef with this dude?
How many? All right, Steve. How many kids are playing on the block today?
Nobody. They don't play on the block. No, but I'm talking about then. I'm talking about then, not now. I know that, John. The kids nowadays don't even know what fun is because they don't even come outside. I'm talking about back then when we was all outside. You know, that's that new shit now. They talking about, yo, I'm outside.
Same thing would happen.
I see what Steve's
you know,
saying.
You forget about it.
I see what Steve's saying.
You know what I mean? That means
yeah,
I'm outside. I'm out here. So let's get it poppin'. But I'm out here. But that's what it used to be, really, back then.
And today, kids don't even play on the street.
He's outside because he's hanging out and he wants to get himself into some shit. You know, I'm outside. Yeah, I'm outside. What the fuck does that mean? You outside? Your ass need to go to the fuck in the house. What the fuck you mean you outside? Because you out here looking to get into some shit. But back then, when you say you outside, you was really outside, running around and doing shit and blah, blah, blah. You know? But that was then, and this is now.
Can we take a second to shout out Meditation Riding Waves for giving us this great content now?
Thanks, Meditation.
That's right.
Meditation is gonna. I think we might have broken the internet. We might actually have.
Hey, man!
You know we've been talking.
Undemonetized.
Yeah, we've been talking for almost 2 hours.
Joe, he said, Joe is absolutely right. Somebody's feeling you, Joe.
That's Mike Santi.
Yeah, that's Santi. It's supposed to be Joe took his place.
You don't know what the fuck you talking about, Santi.
Computer illiterate.
That's right. All right. It's almost 2 hours. I'm gonna fucking call it quits. I got to work on that.
What? Call it quits? You better change the subject. God damn it. Change the subject because I'm tired of getting aggravated talking about this shit. And let's talk about something fun.
All right. We're going to talk about something fun for like 20 minutes. All right. Pick a. All right. I watched the new Batman.
I didn't see it yet.
I watched half of it. Everybody was ranting and raving. That was so great.
There was even a new Batman.
It was all right.
Who's Batman now?
I don't even know.
Pattinson.
Who?
The fucking
the
Twilight
vampire
dude.
show. Yeah, Twilight.
Vampire Twilight.
Damn, they give Batman to everybody now.
Who's this dude talking about? Drop the link. Kiss my ass.
That's the dude that gave us the content.
Talking about our link, the serious and silliness link.
Yo, Steve, that's the dude that just gave us the content.
You got glasses?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, my brother. All right. My bad.
No, he doesn't have glasses, but show him what you drink. Steve, show Joe what you're drinking.
Yeah.
I gotta go get a drink. I ain't got no drink.
Balcony. Hey.
Wow.
Nice little smoky drink. Okay.
Smoky.
All right, so I got a little bit of good.
I got you.
I got a little bit of good news. All right. So I am going to Florida. I'm leaving Sunday. Yeah, I wish. I'm leaving Sunday night, Sunday, and then Monday I am going to be on a much larger podcast promoting my podcast.
Okay.
So, and then I'm coming back Tuesday. So I'm hoping that it will help promote and get a lot more subscribers. I'm not going to give a shout out of who yet. When I get back, then I'll blast it. And, they're going to tell me when because it's going to be recorded and when they're going to put it on and so on and so forth. But it is one of the guys that I had on, one of the guys, Larry Mazza. He was a former
knockaround.
He was a former Colombo crime family member. He was a made man when it counted back in the 80s and 90s. And he is actually helping me. He introduced me to this guy Matt Callahan, who is, I think his name is Callahan. I might be wrong.
That's my name.
Yeah, I know. I think his name is Callahan. I'm pretty sure. Anyway, he is a former mixed martial arts fighter and professional wrestler. And he has his own podcast. And he also has a partner who's very, very somewhat famous, if you will, on YouTube and so on and so forth. And I'm going to be on their show. So I'm hoping that it helps a lot and we get a lot more subscribers and then people watch us argue even more. So Meatball is fishing. He's got to be up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, good for him.
Listen, you need to shout out your podcast right now and say to all the viewers out there, listen, no. Why you hold your head down to me? Like, we're for real. You know,
he say he's going to wait.
No
Go ahead. You do it, Steve. Go ahead.
If you're watching this podcast right now, you need to click and subscribe and get down with the program because we keep it a buck 100% all the time, and we talk that real talk.
That's right.
This is what we do,
baby.
goddammit. So you better tune in and get some fucking lessons on how real men get down.
That's right.
That's how we do it, motherfucker. That's right. And y'all better listen and learn. Because I know a lot of you motherfuckers out there are all airheaded and don't know what the fuck is going on. And you need to listen and get some fucking lessons because this is life lessons, real talk, real men. This is what we do. So goddamn it, tune in and get with the program.
That's right.
Yeah.
Just like Butcher, real man.
Word up.
Real man.
We real men up in this motherfucker, son.
All right. All right, we've been a solid 2 hours. I think we're done.
I got Joe laughing and shit like, yeah, this thing is crazy.
Yeah. Yo, Steve, that was Joe was Michelle last time.
What?
I was thinking that.
Yeah.
I was ready to come over and blow your fucking back out.
Dude, I said like 10 times, hey, I tried to explain to you. Nothing. Over your head. Straight over your head.
That shit went right over my head. I was like, what the fuck? They said Joe's a dude. And I was like, what?
Yo, even Meatball caught on and you still didn't catch on.
You guys working tomorrow?
I am.
No, I mean Steve and Timmy.
Oh, nah.
I'm off for 3 days, son.
Really?
I don't go back to work till Tuesday.
You don't want to go to work Monday?
Nah, I'm on because I'm working next Saturday.
I got you.
You know what I mean? So I got a 3-day weekend, son. I'll be out right as soon as this podcast is over. If this bitch is watching, come on over, bitch, and don't wear no panties because it's all
done. I'm out to the bar.
All right, I'm going to bed. I got work in the morning.
All right, guys.
All right, fellas.
All right.
Listen, I just want to thank everybody. I really appreciate it, man. I appreciate everybody coming on and making a great podcast, dude. Steve, Timmy, Joe, really, thank you very much.
You're welcome, John. And you know, raised my blood pressure by like fucking 50%.
That's all right. It's a good thing.
That's right.
All right,
but fellas. You know what? It's real talk.
That's right.
From real men, and that's what we do.
That's it.
You know
all right,
what I mean?
Fellas. Peace.
Bye,
Have a good night.